Okay, let's jump right into it. But before we do, you guys know what I need you to do for me. I need you to like this video, comment, subscribe, do all of that good stuff because it's free. It's freaking free. Just hit the like video because I'm going to drop content like this, reaction video I got for y'all right here all the time. Yes, I mean all the time. Actually, I'm trying to do it every Friday, and this Friday I got 3 for y'all. We back again. My man Rich is going to be talking about why you should use a heat press in contradiction to the World and Vision guys. We just going to keep this conversation rolling, man. I think it is a very, very important conversation to have. And you got some great coaches, mentors, people doing the work out here to kind of walk you through this process. So let's jump right into it.
So if you're starting a clothing brand and you're starting with a heat press, you're probably wondering right now, like, have you been doing this wrong the whole time?
Here's a few reasons why you should be using a heat press. At the end of the day, it boils down to your actual business model itself. For a clothing,
I done said that in an earlier video. It's going to depend on what's working for you, what business model you want to follow. All of them are right. You could be successful at all the different business models, even the ones we're not talking about here today. So, which business model do you have?
brand, it might not be as ideal, and I get what Marlon and Nick is trying to say by focusing on marketing and sales, right?
Because when you're actually focusing on spending time on producing your shirt on your heat press, you're actually taking away time that you can focus on creating content, doing a pop-up shop, like making the sales, actually getting the product moving.
Because whenever you're getting things mass produced, you're getting things screen printed, and let's say if you went out and got 24 t-shirts produced, you got whatever size, and size small, size medium, size large, and instead of focusing on making those actual t-shirts, say you went out and sold them and then you had a handful of t-shirts remaining. The pressure should be on you to get out there and move those actual t-shirts instead of focusing on more that's not even gonna sell. You want to focus on getting them out, right? I absolutely get it, but at the same time, a heat press is made for different business models. So I know of a handful of companies, of course, including myself, I've done over 7 figures using this heat press model, but I know of other companies, and I can't even say their names, so I'm going to do it like this. So I know stars on Amazon, they do over $20 million a year using this same heat press model. I also know they do the same thing. They use the same model, and they do over $10 million in sales in a year. And they sell on marketplaces in the 4th quarter, and they'll do $4 million alone in just December.
Man, there's some big businesses in the industry, man. I went to go see Stalls do their heat press operation. You guys see me in the past in LA looking at the high volume heat press operation. It's people out here getting it, bruh. Like, flat out. And I didn't even, even back when I started my YouTube channel, I didn't know this stuff was possible. So now that I know it's possible, I also got to understand what it takes because I got to see it firsthand. And that's what you guys got to understand and also realize in this entire process is like, you got to figure out where you want to be, and then you got to take the necessary steps to get there.
So really think about what a heat press model consists of. This consists of being able to get so many designs out, having so many options out to your audience, but not having to waste money on printed blanks yet. So you have blanks and you have designs that aren't pretty much put together yet, but you have the option to provide thousands of different sizes to your customers with different types of designs, although it is not even made yet. It is made to order, and this is actually quicker than screen printing. Yes, with screen printing, you can do 400 to 800 t-shirts per hour, but this is only...
Bro, no, I can't say no printer. At least for the ones that I visited, like anything above 400 is pushing it. And they must be a super, super high volume, not worried about quality style of shop. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just from what I hear. I could be completely wrong. I know Rock at the show, they ran a 1,200 hour per prints, but they doing it to show off the speed of their machine. You're not doing that in a common sense, especially when you got a press operator that may not be fully invested, may not be up to speed and stuff like that. Yeah, we can run it for a NASCAR sprint challenge, but ultimately, you know what I'm saying? It's not really about the speed when it comes to having this equipment. You want to make sure that you're doing stuff of quality, so you're not going to be running at 800 shirts an hour
on one single design, and no one is going to want to set up an 8-color print for 24 t-shirts.
Nobody's setting up 8 colors, 10 colors, 9 colors for you to run 24, 12. The heat press brings back that power to get all those colors with DTF, all of that stuff. And exactly what he's saying is the gym, press on demand. You have one set of inventory. I inventory white and black shirts, and I use it across multiple brands, whether that was Trash Talk, Drunk Aunties, First, HBCU tees, somebody walking on off the street. I can use one inventory and get the stuff done that I need to get done using puff vinyl, using pre-printed transfers, going over and screen printing, but I'm getting to share that inventory based on what my customer needs and being able to deliver it to them. So you get a sense of security out of using the heat press for people starting out, undoubtedly, but scaling it is a whole nother conversation.
So the model is you're casting a lot of different designs out in hopes that you can get more efficient. Instead of you having a single design out there that only one fish out of the 100 fishes like. Instead, you can provide different types of 100 different types of designs out for all of those different type of fishes. In this scenario, customers. So this is why a heat press will make sense for you. And you can even compare this to the print on demand model, but at the same time,
print on demand, nah, we press on demand.
When it comes to print on demand, I've been in and out of a lot of these print on demand businesses, which are 9-figure a year businesses, and majority of them uses heat presses as well.
Show me a shop without a heat press today. You walk into a screen print shop, they got a heat press. If they got an automatic and they don't see a heat press, it's probably on their press. They probably got a stamp in there. Everybody is using a heat press. A heat press is an investment that does not go bad. You're gonna use it in the shop. I'm telling you, I had not walked into a screen print shop. Even when I walked into my first screen print shop that I seen with 13 autos, they had an area of heat pressing, even if it's just for finishing. There's a heat press somewhere in the building. I don't know too many shops without one. Better yet, any without one.
So it really boils down to what your actual business model is. And for starters, I know a lot of people got their feet wet and created amazing businesses by being able to get their hands on an actual heat press. A lot of times that pressure of getting sales isn't made for everybody. And I get what Marlon and Nick is trying to say. Absolutely, 100%. But not everybody has the ability to go out there and get it in a heartbeat. It's difficult for a lot of people because at the end of the day, to me, the game is really all mental. And for myself, when I first started, I didn't really have the strength or the confidence to go out and
Bro, this game is mental, bro. Change your mindset, you can change your life. Change your mindset, change your life. I was a dude that never set a goal in my life. I set some goals and I knocked them out the park. Now I feel like, what is it that I can accomplish? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, things might be bad based on things going on around me right now, but I ain't got no doubt in my mind that I can't turn it around. Why? Because I set some goals and I knocked them out the park. I said I was going to become the face of the industry in 2017, and I don't know what happened, but here we are in 2022, and I got recognized as the most influential apparel decorator from the apparel list. How did I do it? Simply because I said I was going to get it done. Simply by setting a goal and putting something out into the world. In all honesty, I had no way of measuring me becoming the face of the industry. But I felt like maybe this was a sign here, right? But I was out just enjoying the hustle and the grind of what it was that I was after. You have to change your mindset if you want to change your life and everything that you have going on, undoubtedly.
Sell each and every single piece of garment. You know, I mean, I already had a kid when I first started, so I couldn't even go out there and get it. I couldn't be out here on college campuses. I couldn't even be out anywhere. You know what I mean? So, like, I was limited.
Hey, listen, man. Jada was at the college games with me selling stuff. You know what I'm saying? We got to get it how we live, man. We got to work inside the means. If you got some type of thing holding you back, so do I. You know what I'm saying? He had something holding him back. Whatever it is, you got to find something in amongst everything that we're saying to you to make it work for yourself. I ain't here to listen to no excuses. If this is what you want to do, what's stopping you? If you want to be a photographer, go be a photographer. I did. If you want to be a t-shirt business owner, be a t-shirt business owner. I did. You want to fix computers, build websites, whatever it is that you want to do, you need to put yourself around people doing the stuff that you want to do. You need to imitate. You need to emulate and immutate. Wait, what? What am I saying? I'm so passionate. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. Anyway, but you need to emulate and imitate the people doing what it is that you want to do. You need to learn how to do it. You need to keep it going. I'm telling you. Figure out what you want to do. Set some goals and go attack it.
to my surroundings. But the heat press allowed me an introduction to the entire apparel decoration industry as a whole, and that's what allowed me to understand everything. And even now, of course, you know, everything that I'm going to be saying is contradicting, because I got into the game with a heat press, I got into screen printing, I got into direct to garment, and you know, I've done clothing brands with that. You know, I built my Etsy and Amazon business off of that, and you know, I've done fairly well for myself. But now, as I'm building this new clothing brand, I'm outsourcing everything. So, you know, everything can be contradicted.
Man, listen, when you know better, you do better. When you know better, you do better. And you can reserve the right to change your mind. Why do we have to be stuck in a box these days? It's perfectly fine to start out one way and go end up somewhere. Rich started out in production and he ended up getting out of production and now outsourcing and focusing on sales and marketing. Right? I would say more so marketing and sales, but it's the same thing, sales and marketing. I feel like the World and Vision guys are sales driven, no production, right? I started out as a broker, which is what Rich does pretty much now. I started out as a broker and went backwards into production and learned. And that's crazy because I honestly didn't even start with a heat press. But once I picked up a heat press, I thought about all of the struggles that I went through learning and figuring it out, and the tough times and troubles I had before that, trying to stand on screens and burn screens with a floodlight and in my mom's basement, all of this stuff that I talked to you guys about. I figured out, like, man, if I had a heat press, all I wanted to do was put my photography logo on the shirt. I probably wouldn't have went deeper down the rabbit hole if I got a heat press and some transfers when I started. And that's why I'm like, yo, people should start with a heat press. Regardless of how far you take it or you don't, you get to learn so much by being hands-on about different processes and things, and you can take it and go as far as you want to go. If for nothing else, create your own samples. When you got a brand, like the guy said, it's so many avenues that you can go down, and I can't say which one of them is wrong. I don't think any of us are wrong in this situation.
So I'm not saying the homies Marlon and Nick are wrong, but at the same time, we can live in a world where we're both right.
I don't know why this industry doesn't allow people to equally be right. We want to fight so much to figure out who's wrong. Nobody's wrong. You got to do what works for you, man.
So another thing I do want to add is, like, even my screen printer, you know, he started off with heat presses. Like, he opened his doors with just a few heat presses, and now he got a full auto screen printer going on, and he prints for a lot of different companies. And you know what? So this part would even put it back to square one. So I know he even prints for God is Dope, and the owner of God is Dope even started off with vinyl and the heat press as well. Now they do over 8 figures a year. And yeah, they transitioned, but that heat press was an opening as a whole to a lot of different people when it comes to this actual industry. And I can even talk about this at an even higher level. Let me know if you...
Man, listen, y'all. I can't say this enough, man. I don't know. I don't know how many more reactions to this is going to be, but, you know, at the end of the day, man, I think all the three of us can say we want to see you guys be successful. And there's different business models. We don't think either of us is wrong. You got to figure out where you want to go. Where I'm taking you guys right now, I'm building up a new platform called Decorator by Nature. This is going to be me building out a screen print shop from scratch. I got one customer. I got 300 square feet, which is just as bigger than a one-car garage. Think of a typical one-car garage. It's 250 square feet. I'm going to be focusing on that. Listen, if you like the content, check out marathon.supply. That's the new supply company for this audience and community. That's where I'm going to be able to take that profit and bring it back into the community, as well as take care of my team and my family as well. But it's going to be invested widely back into this community with a supplier that truly cares about your success and not just selling you another product. This has been your boy Stan Banks, bringing you a reaction video. And as always, if you got something you want to hear or see me talk about, put it down below in the comments and I'll be sure to get it in one of my next videos. This has been your boy Stan Banks. I stand on it. Peace.
The T-Shirt Side Hustle team would like to give a huge shout out to its contributing members.